Welcome to JT's Vintage Card Room, hosted by me, JT. Well, football season is upon us, and I have my Steelers garb on. I am a huge Steelers fan since I was a little kid. Shout out to John Mangini and every other Steeler fan that's out there. Don't have a whole lot of high hopes for this year, to be honest. I have a feeling we're going to do our usual 9-8. Maybe 10-7, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. But in the end, we're going to get a crappy pick in the draft, and we're still going to have a quarterback problem. I think Aaron could be okay, maybe even better than okay, but he's not winning us a championship. And that's what we all want in Pittsburgh. But we really need a franchise quarterback going forward, and obviously Aaron is not it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go Steelers. Here we go. But let's talk about baseball cards. I actually will start by saying I had a email conversation with Brent from SGC. And I always go to the Philly show. We'll be there again this year. I should say in a couple weeks. And I was disappointed to learn that they will not be at the show. So I sent him out an email and saying, is this the only show that you won't be at? Is there another opportunity? Because I have a bunch of cards I want to submit. And some of them are pretty big. And I cannot, I don't know. I don't sleep well at night when I send stuff through the U.S. mail. I've had too many things go lost, stolen. I don't know. Bottom line is it doesn't get to its destination, whether it's to someone who bought a card from me or going to me or coming to me where I bought the card. Probably 4 or 5. It's 4 or 5 too many, to be honest. So I don't feel like sending $10,000 plus worth of cards to be graded through the mail and maybe pay an extra, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 to make sure it's insured, to make sure they do their job. I don't know. Anyway. I always prefer to drop off in person. And Brent replied to me right away that SGC has made a business decision that they will no longer be doing or setting up at shows. So there will be no more in-person submissions anywhere by SGC, which that's disappointing. I don't know if this is the next step to the beginning of the end. Like all of you out there, I really do hope that they actually do a boutique option where they focus on what they do best, which is the vintage marketplace, which is what we all care about. So I'm hoping that's the case, but why not set up at shows? I don't know. Maybe Greg at Midlife Cards was right that because in one of his videos he showed the stand, I guess you could say, or the tables up by SGC were pretty much bare, where PSA was booming. I'm wondering if PSA put the kibosh on that because of everything collectors is doing to pretty much kill the SGC brand. I don't get it. I really hope this is not the end, but this is not a good sign. But yeah, I guess we got to move on and onward and upward. I will give a quick little preview. I did a video, my Mantle versus Maze, and I made a mention that there's one card missing I needed for the 1951 Bowman set, and a good friend of mine actually just upgraded his Mickey Mantle rookie card, and he called me after I just spent a good amount of money on my Sliding Billy Hamilton, which I did an episode on, and said, do you want my cast-off, which is a beautiful 2. So I will be showing that card. Needless to say, I did get it. And I will be showing that card shortly in an upcoming video. But for now, today, we're going to talk about Giuseppe Paolo DiMaggio. You might know him as Joe D, the Yankee Clipper, Joltin' Joe. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio video. Let's talk about some DiMaggio cards. Before we get into the cards, I always like to give some stats. Joe played in just 13 seasons, which is pretty amazing. You think of Joe as being, and he is an all-time great by far. You just think there's more longevity there. In his 13 seasons, he made the All-Star game every single year. 3 times he won the MVP in 1939, 1941, and 1947, and finished in the MVP voting top 10 9 of his 13 years. I mean, that's just incredible. He led the Yankees to 10 pennants, won 9 World Series, second only to Yogi Berra. There's a stat somewhere about Frank Cressetti actually being in the most or winning the most World Series, but that was as a combination of player, coach, manager, stuff like that. But Joe D, 9 World Series, 2 batting titles, 2 home run titles, 2 RBI titles, lifetime batting average of .325, 361 homers, which at the time of his retirement, I believe was good for 6th all time. Obviously, it's pretty far down the list now, but still awesome. 1,390 runs and 1,537 RBIs, which is an average of 118 a season. That's just incredible. And he was married to some gal named Marilyn Monroe. You might have heard of her. But all right, so we are going to show some cards. Honestly, Joe D, and this is just my opinion, you could agree or disagree in the comments. There's not a lot of great cards for Joe D. I have, I don't know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. And crazy as it sounds, this might be one of his better ones. It's not his best one. That's a 1961 Golden Press, Joe DiMaggio. This, by the way, is a great set for someone who wants to get all of the all-time greats that ever played the game, obviously from the 50s on down. Great set, very affordable, great images, and pretty inexpensive to get. Golden Press, 1961 Golden Press. I highly recommend it. I do have the set. It is a pretty awesome set. And speaking of pretty awesome sets, the very underappreciated 1950 to 1955 Callahans. Callahan put out this set from 1950 to 55, as I just said. And they distributed these in ballparks. And they are of every Hall of Famer from all the way back to the beginning of baseball up until 1955. This one was distributed in 1955. They actually have a pretty good write-up on all of them. I don't know if you can see that. And there's the card. Joe D was one of the last ones that were made because he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1955. And they become more rare as they move along in the series. So everybody was done in 1950, and then they added more in 51, 52, 53, 54, and then finally in 55. And this is kind of a hard card to get. I have this whole set. I shouldn't say I have the whole set. I'm missing 2 cards. And it's pretty, I have it all mostly in 9s and 8s, and maybe one day I'll do a video on them. But they're not terribly popular. I don't know why. I mean, again, speaking of images of Joe D, that's really just not a great image. I mean, I don't know. I'm Italian, 100% Italian, Sicilian, actually, just like Joe. And I don't know. Maybe we're just, he and I are just not that good looking. I don't know. So there's those. There's definitely some iconic cards. Let's continue with the less than attractive cards. The 39 play ball. Again, It's an okay card. This one, unfortunately, is off center. It is a 7, whatever, old label. Probably wish I had a more centered copy of this, but you know what? It's still a 39 play ball Joe D. Nice write up on the back. Really not an attractive set, in my opinion, the 39 play ball. I just did a video on the 41 play ball, and obviously that is an iconic card of Joe D. Here is the 40 play ball. Maybe better if I just do, there we go. So again, this one's a little beat up. This was part of that set that I had bought from my friend Steve. There's the back. And this is the cards he actually played with when he was 8 years old. If you watched the last video, he died at 93 or 94 or something like that, just this past year. And this was part of his original collection. So I'm very proud to own this card. I'm jumping around a little bit because I want to sort of save the best for last, in my opinion. This is a card I bought pretty recently. It was this year. I love the Leaf set. I don't think this is a great card. I think the Ruth is awesome. Obviously, the Jackie is awesome. The Satchel Paige is awesome. This doesn't do much for me. I don't know if it's the color combination. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Here's the back. But I like the Leaf set a lot, and I did not have this one until, like I say, recently. So I'm very happy to have this Joe D in my collection. And speaking of collections, I had bought a collection from a guy I played softball with. And this is a card that was in his collection. It was kind of like tucked away. I didn't even see it when we first had it. It's not worth a lot, but it's pretty cool. It's the 1936 Gaudy wide pens. Joe shown here with his manager, McCarthy, Joe McCarthy. It is a blank back. And again, it's pretty beat up. I'll see if I can show a little bit closer. But it's pretty neat to have a card like that. The oversized cards don't do a whole lot for me. They're very hard to store. But this one's not too big. And in that same vein, this is a card I actually like of Joe's quite a bit. This is the 1936 National Chickle card. Some call these cards, these last two that I've shown, his rookie cards. Obviously, there's cards when he was with the Seals that are San Francisco Seals, by the way, which is the PCL League, Pacific Coast League that Joe played in. But these are very early Yankee cards of Joe, and it's a great shot of him taking a swing. You got the catcher there, the umpire, nice background. These are also blank backs. I had bought this card many years ago from an auction house, and I was surprised at how inexpensive it was at the time. They're starting to gain in popularity now. Maybe it's all part of the oddball craze, which I'm starting to fall into. There's no doubt about it. There's something unique and exciting about cards that just don't have a whole lot of distribution, and you know, I love them. Now, speaking of love, these last two Joe D cards that I have are definitely some of my all-time favorites, and I don't know which one I like better. I already showed this one as part of the 41 play ball set, and this is again one of the cards that were part of Steve's collection, my friend Steve. I just love this card. The great background, the deep purples. Here's the back. Again, it's a minimum size not met, which means it was not cut appropriately by Gum Inc., which is owned at the time by Bowman. but it's Steve's card, so he bought it right out of the pack. So this is right out of the pack. It's had 2 owners in its lifetime, Steve and then me, and it's not going anywhere. Great card. And I think probably my favorite Joe D card, and definitely one of my favorite sets of all time, is this one. Now, I'm sure I might have some people that disagree, but I am a huge fan of the 38 play ball. And I forget who says the scribbles. Maybe Mike Moynihan? But yeah, this is definitely my favorite Joe D card. I love the scribbles. I have the set just of the scribble or cartoons, but I have just the guys that have the scribbles on them. I don't see the need to have duplications of the exact same cards, except without the scribbles, which I think is a little bit more boring. This is a really nice copy. 3.5 is pretty tough grade if you ask me. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. This is obviously not that old of a flip, but you know, this is about the time when they started getting a little tougher on grading these cards, and I'm just happy to have it. Thank God I got it when I got it. I did pay a lot for it, but it's a great example. So that's my Joe D collection. Hope you enjoy watching the video as much as I enjoy having the cards. And remember, we're just trading paper for cardboard. Do it responsibly, but that's all we're doing. We're trading paper for cardboard, and I traded an awful lot of paper this last month for cardboard between the Billy Hamilton and, well, the Mantle Rookie card, which I will be doing a video soon. All right. Hope you guys are having a great day. Go Steelers on Sunday. Sorry, Chris from Missouri, about your Chiefs. And I'm sure they'll be fine. Have a great day, guys.